بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's your brother Gavin Arwani. A quick video that is inshallah very beneficial. The ABCs of depression. It's an acronym, it's just ABC. A lot of people around the world suffer from depression, anxiety. And a psychologist came with this simple method, and it is linked to cognitive behavior therapy. ABC, okay, these three alphabet letters, the first three alphabet letters. A is what's called the automator or the trigger. B is the belief. C is the consequence or the action. If you look at a person who suffers from trauma or suffers from, one of the outcomes of trauma is stress and, of course, anxiety, depression. The person is going to be triggered by something, the automator. Could be, for example, seeing someone, being around a group of people. It could be just the night, okay, just the sun setting and so on. That triggers them. That causes the anxiety to spike up. Depression is something that is obviously it's pretty much untreated anxiety that has been over and over. It's just become so deep. It's much more complicated, but just to understand, it's just something that now is very deeply rooted in your mind, in your soul, in your spirit. So you get triggered by something. That's your A, your automator. However, that is linked to B, which is your belief. The belief in, this trigger is going to cause some harm to me, or this is exactly how I interpret it. I.e., the darkness is going to hurt me. When it's night, there's evil things are going to happen because it happened to me once. So the belief comes into play, and it basically accentuates the feeling of depression or anxiety. And it's connected to C, which is the consequence. So now you have a certain belief, and it's causing you to act in a certain way. So you might take, most likely, a wrong decision, be in how you're going to discuss with someone this issue, or how are you going to behave to your family, how are you going to behave to those around you, your friends, locking yourself in, just not talking to people, just not, dealing with society, self-harm, taking extra medicine, just extra trauma, extra anxiety, right? I'm just giving some examples. So the wrong consequence, the wrong action, which in turn is going to feed back into your automator. So you get caught up in this vicious cycle. So now it confirms your automator, your trigger, and you're stuck in this vicious cycle. So now again, another trigger is presented, is confirmed by the belief, it influences your action. What can you do? What does positive Islamic cognitive behavior dictate based on positive Islamic psychology manual? When we look at the research around that, the one that we have to target is A, B, or C. It's B. A, you cannot change. The triggers around you might be things that are independent from you. You cannot change the sun, or darkness sets. Cannot. The one thing you can change is B, your belief. How do you do that? You rationally challenge that belief. So if you feel, so night sets in, that's the trigger, causes anxiety, causes you to really feel very anxious. Your belief is that bad things will happen at night because that's what might have happened in the past. You've had trauma, i.e. got raped that night or something happened. So the belief is basically accentuating the feelings of anxiety, which now causes you to lock yourself up all the time. For example, not able to sleep at night properly because you always have to have the lights on. So you get more tired, you're not getting proper rest, it's hurting your mental health even more. It's just an example, right? So now your your consequence, your action is affected by the belief. And then again, obviously, it's going to feed back into the automator. It's going to reinforce that yes, this is how I act, that's how I protect myself. Darkness comes in again, belief confirms it, consequence. And you get in this vicious circle that literally is going to induce deep depression if you continue and unless you break it. But what can you target according to positive Islamic psychology is the belief. If we look at Islam, what did Islam come to change in humans? Their false beliefs, be it in the unseen, be it that the Quraysh used to believe that Allah has daughters as angels, be it that human beings that did not believe that there's accountability or there's no akhirah, be it that they had the wrong understanding of tawheed, of aqidah, of theology, about human beings, the nafs, the soul, and many other issues. If you read the Quran, Allah addresses the belief. And it really breaks it down, refutes it, in many cases rationalizes it to human beings. That, hey guys, think here, make tadabbur, tafakkur, think about all these issues to change, have a whole paradigm shift when it comes to your belief. If the belief is changed, then easily you can change the action, the consequences of that belief, and then you break the vicious circle. So you rationalize it. Okay, so I've had a problem at night in the past, at some point, trauma, but there's been so many nights that have passed by and nothing happened to me. So hence, rationally, you look at it and you're like, wait a second, so, okay, the Prophet ﷺ said, for example, don't go out at night, there's jinn, okay, good, fine. Should I be scared at the night? No, because nothing really happened to me in so many nights compared to one night that I'm basing all my belief on, right? So you see how you rationalize it. By the way, this is just an example. So now your belief is targeted with rationale, with reason, dissected, broken apart, rationalized, and your mind says, okay, so it's not that bad. So now I need to change the consequence. I don't need to sleep with the lights on all the time so I have bad sleep. I don't need to just be alone all the time at night or whatever, or you know what I mean? You're changing now, you believe. Maybe I can go and spend time with loved ones. Certain actions, consequences will be affected by changing their belief, rationalizing and dissecting, changing, reconstructing that schema, and synthesizing it again into a positive belief. Okay, remember, al-nahar wal-layl, al-layl wal-nahar, there are ayatain, there are two signs from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the night is not evil. Yes, at Maghrib time, as we know, the Prophet ﷺ said, pull your children in because that's when the shayateen come. But the night in itself is not necessarily evil. وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا. Allah has made the night as a cover, has made the day ma'asha, as action, living, and so on and so forth. So remember, A, B, C. The automator, the trigger, something that causes the anxiety. B, the belief that reinforces it, confirms it based on maybe trauma or the wrong understanding. And C, the consequence, the action, causes that negative loop that you need to break by targeting B, the belief. Islam, the Quran, the Sunnah came to target the belief, a paradigm shift in the belief of people. Deconstruct negative beliefs, false beliefs, reconstruct, synthesize correct belief, correct theology, correct aqidah. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.